Good morning, traders, and welcome to this week's weekly market analysis, Monday, the 3rd of August. Let's jump straight into it this week, and we'll kick off with our Aussie US dollar pairing. If you can see from my chart last week, we've actually had this top possible resistance line up there for a while now, and we were looking to see if possibly the market was going to hold to shoot down. Now it didn't. Also, we had the protection that we did not get any reversal patterns in this vicinity, so basically we didn't take any trades and no damage was done to us. And then we did have that breaking candle in this direction over there, indicating the possible continuation through that level. So what I'll do now is let me remove this level for a while. Well, actually, let me just leave it there for a little bit, because what I'm interested to see is, okay, let me take one step back. I'll remove it temporarily and I'll bring it back up. When I remove that level, it is now easier to see that at least from this area here, we are in an uptrend, and we can see that the market's been making higher highs, higher lows, and it's been consistently doing these movements which indicate which are typical of trend. So what we would naturally be looking for now is, since we've broken that previous level that I had marked there, that's a crooked line, but you know what I mean. What I'm looking for is a little bit of a pullback. In that pullback, I would like to see some kind of a price action reversal occurring, indicating that the market has come down and now reversing back into this direction in order to continue with that trend. So that's what I'm looking for. So I wanted to leave that level simply to mark out where previous resistance may now become future support. So what can happen at times is the market breaks through that level, comes back towards this previous resistance, and now at that fringe we can produce some support, find the reversal pattern there, and from that level we could kick on in continuation of that trend. Okay, so that's our game plan for the Aussie US dollar. Now it doesn't have to come back to that level. If it does come back to that level, it kind of gives me that warm fuzzy feeling. It feels like it's a stronger type signal, but it may not. So look, we can start to look for that reversal occurring anywhere in this vicinity, and if we do get it, well then we would be entitled to take a trend continuation type trade. Okay, there you have it. That's my Aussie US dollar for this week. Let's move on and let's have a look at the Eur Usd. All right, we can see with the Eur Usd that it has been on a very rapid rise, and particularly the week that's just gone by. We did break through that level quite strong, and then it actually never retraced back. So when we broke through here, it did not come back to test the level to give us an opportunity to trade it. So there's two ways you can trade a breakout. You can let it break through, allow it to pull back into that region of future support, and then take the trade. But sometimes it just does not do that. Okay, and then it just continued to shoot off in one direction. All right, so this is one of the reasons I don't trade breakouts as often as I used to, but I always highlight them because I know that there's a lot of other traders out there that like them and do trade them. Now looking at this particular chart now, I can definitely remove this level. It's definitely too far gone, and it's clear to see that at least through this area the trend is up. So what I'm naturally going to look for now is I'm looking for any kind of retracement, looking for that reversal, and then for an opportunity to continue into that trend in this direction. Interestingly, when I look at this chart from a weekly point of view, I'm on a daily right now, so let me just change over to a weekly. I can see that it's there hasn't been any price activity in this region here for quite some time. So generally what that means is there's not a lot of pending orders sitting out there in the market. Now a pending order, depending in which direction, if it's a buy or if it's a sell, for example, if there was a lot of pending orders in this area here, let me draw some pending orders, and if they were all buy orders as an example, it would cause the market to continue, okay, and give it more momentum in that direction. Now, if all these orders were sells, well, then it would cause the market to start to want to turn around and head back in the other direction. Now, when there's a big empty space for so long, it is very common, just the natural psychology of traders out there, that let's say, for example, when the market was at this level here, okay, there might have been traders that had orders in the market sitting in this vicinity here, but as the market started to drift and drift and drift away from them, and so much time has gone by, we're talking about from July 2018 until now, okay, so we're talking about a year. Natural tendency is that they go back and cancel those orders out. So what I'm trying to highlight is that there is such an empty space here. The market has not traded in this area for such a long time, so it is fresh territory, so we've got to treat it. We can't rely back on pending orders sitting in the system that can help our trade move along in one way or the other. All right, so I just want to highlight that for you. Go back to my daily, and the best thing that I can see on this one is allow it to drop down, okay, give us price action reversal, and then we continue in the direction of the trend. All right, that's our game plan for the Euro USD this week. Let's have a look at the US yen. And looking at this particular chart, I had this line drawn in, if you recall, and we were definitely converging. The market was getting narrower and narrower and narrower, and look what happened. It was a very sharp breakdown, and well, I can see that on Friday at least the market has recovered quite a lot of that breakdown. When I look at this now, let me remove these lines and let's see what this trade. I'm going to keep this top one, okay, because it's giving me an indication that the market is definitely falling. And actually, let me just try a set of parallel lines. Let's see how this fits. If I can get that bottom level. Oh, okay, just about. Let me get rid of the other one. Okay, so I've just put in a set of parallel lines there. The top I definitely like because I've got 1, 2, 3 good touches. At the bottom I've got 1. We're very close to that one, so I'll just keep them in my chart. But what I'm looking for here is it just feels like we may get something occurring here and then just to continue back down the channel as trend continuation. All right, but I would definitely prefer if it did pull all the way up to here and then gave me the reversal up there, because then that's a much higher probability trade. As I can see, first of all, like I would have 4 touches, and also it's inside a falling channel. A falling channel or a rising channel is generally providing a much higher probability type trade. Okay, so we will try and attempt to trade within the channel for the US yen, and that's our game plan until we move out of that region. All right, so let's monitor that. Let's move along. Let's have a look at the GBP USD. Okay, I was tracking a channel on the GBP USD. We were tracking there. We had 2 confirmed touches on each side. And I kept on looking for the reversal up there, but it didn't happen. And look, the good thing about this, if you look at all the candles there, none of those candles are indicating that the market was going to reverse. So essentially, by applying and waiting for price action to confirm a reversal for us, it basically meant that we didn't take a trade. If you had purely traded off the level, just say as it got close to that channel, to the top line, you decided to take a trade down, well then basically you would have got stopped out on that particular trade. All right, so the channel is no longer valid, so let's delete it. Let me zoom out a little bit more. I just want to see this chart from further away. Sometimes when I can't see anything, I like to take a more distant approach on it. And I can see, I know I'm very far out, but I would just like to draw my lines in. I've got 1 level there, 2 levels there, and 3 levels there, and they're actually quite dominant. Okay, so they're very good touches in my opinion. Okay, now let me zoom in again. Okay, all right. Let me just check one more thing. I haven't done this for a little while. Give me 1 second. Okay, I really like that. Okay, what I've done, I've taken. I'm checking a Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so the market from that point down to here, and then all the way up to here, and it's retracing exactly on the 161 Fibonacci level. Okay, there's a high probability of a turning point. So first of all, I'm on the 161 Fibonacci. Second, I'm on this top line, the third point. Okay, so there's two reasons. And thirdly, well, there's no the last thing that I'm looking for. I'll leave that Fibonacci there. The last thing that I'm looking for is a reversal pattern. Now I've produced two candles. So if today's candle, this one here, ends up looking something a little bit lower, just like that, then that's it. Those three candles would be a reversal pattern, and tomorrow I can be a seller on the Gbp USD. So what we're waiting for here is, let's see if these three candles here can produce that reversal pattern. So we're waiting for today's candle to finalize it, and if it does, we can be sellers on the Gbp USD. Okay, so we understand the reasons why. One, we have a top level, the line which has got 1 point, 2 points, and 3 points, and also secondly, the Fibonacci retracement from there to there is that 1618 level. Okay, so and then the last thing that I want, look, for some of you that might be enough to short straight away, but I'm going to wait for one last confirmation that I'll get a reversal pattern occurring there. Okay, there you have it. That's my GBP USD for this week. Let's have a look at the US CAD. Oh, okay, here there was a trade here. Did anybody take this, I wonder? Last week when I was looking at this, I drew in this bottom level and I said, let's see if this can act as a double bottom. And let me just zoom out a little bit so I can see this chart properly. And it's not a true double bottom because all this activity is actually below this level here. Okay, if all this activity was up there, then that would be a true double bottom. But in any case, it does look like it produced an inside candle pattern. These two candles here, bit hard to draw with my mouse this morning, guys, a bit cold. It produced a reversal pattern. So if you had taken that trade, your entry level would be about there, and that distance here that I'm marking now is bigger than this distance here, so the trade would have hit already your first target. Okay, so if it's too late to get into it now because it's already pushed up, so I would not be jumping on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend the line out again, and let's see if this ends up producing for us the bouncy ball type scenario that I often talk about. For those of you who don't know, it's one bounce, two bounces, maybe something like this, and then it falls through. Okay, so let's just track this. It's going to be interesting to see how high up this can push up. Let's see if it pushes up to this level, we could be trading a channel, a horizontal channel. So don't disregard that as an option as well. All right, so we could look for a channel in this as I've just drawn it in right now. Of course, the little circle there, I would need price action reversal to confirm there, but you can see what I'm saying. Okay, there you have it. Those are the options that I have for you on my US CAD this week. Let's move along and let's have a look at crude oil. Look, guys, this chart still does not interest me at all. let me just get rid of that box because it's just annoying me, all the shades at the moment. But look, it's just trading very, very, very narrow in this area here. So there's nothing really there that I like. Let me zoom out a little bit for 1 second. Give me a sec. Let's give it a chance. No, not at all. The first levels that I might get interested in at is if we can kind of get towards this region before I would be looking at becoming a seller. So that doesn't happen till around about the $51 mark. But for the time being, nothing. Okay, let's just stay away from it. But I'll just keep that line in my chart just so that I can kind of remember what my train of thought was. All right, let's have a look at the Kiwi US Dollar. I've got this line marked at the top. Let me zoom out. I want to see it a bit better. Okay, it's a significant point because the market has come so deep, forming a big wedge. That level is similar to this level here, but still we're not quite there. Let's zoom back in. Look, if I do get reversal confirmation in this area here, I would be happy to be a seller. All right, so keep that line in on your chart. Let's just monitor it. At the moment, it's still not happening. I'm reluctant to take a long, even if we pull back a little bit, and even though it will look like we are in trend, which we are from this point here. But if I was to take a long there, unless I have enough room to hit my targets before this level, I would be concerned about it because there's a strong possibility that this level could be resistance. All right, so to be honest, I'm looking more for it to come up to the level, give me the reversal, and then be a seller rather than a buyer. All right, let's see how this one plays out. Keep it in your hot list and we'll move on. Let's have a look at the Aussie 200, the ASX. Okay, it's starting to show. Friday's market dropped a little bit there and it feels like it may be moving out of that range, because if I was to extend that line will be crossing through it. But can I redraw it? Can I? To be honest, to me it looks more like it's probably going to trade more in here as a channel. I would be feeling more comfortable waiting for the market to come to about here, because I would have one touch, two touches, and I've got one at the top, two at the top. So that means it's a confirmed channel. So let's wait, see if it can come in here, and then we'll try and shoot it back out this way. Of course, as always, making sure that we do have confirmation of reversal in that hot zone. Okay, so this one's pretty straightforward this week. Let's just leave it at that and let's see if it plays out for us. All right, let's finish up today on gold. Okay, gold just continues to surprise everybody. It's a great lesson for everybody to realize that the trend, just until the trend is broken, there's nothing we can actually do about it. And this is a trend that is dating back nearly 2 years now, actually. This point here is the 9th of August 2018, and today's date is the 3rd of August. So that's a 2-year trend, guys. 2-year trend. Of course, it's gone exponential just off recent right now. How much can it go? I don't know the answer to that, but I have been trying to be a buyer at every opportunity that I get. Haven't had too many this week because it's just shot off so hard. So for right now, the only thing that I can do with this is wait for it to pull back and then look for another entry opportunity in continuation of this trend. Of course, naturally, as we approach that $2,000 an ounce mark, it's a psychological barrier for everybody. So naturally, I do expect that we could get a little bit of a resistance at that level and a bit of pushback, simply because it's the $2,000 mark. Okay, there you have it. that's what we have this week in terms of charts. Let me bring up what's the highlights for this week in terms of news. Just give me one moment. Okay, we have this week, it's a big week actually. The first week of the month tends to have a lot of data. Tuesday we have the highlight is RBA interest rate decision. So that's locally here to Australia. Look out for that. That happens at 2:30 on Tuesday, so that's tomorrow. Wednesday, we have from New Zealand employment change numbers. That's at 8:45 in the morning. Thursday, a lot of data on Thursday, but the highlight comes from the UK, where they have their monetary policy to be released, as well as interest rates and their official bank rate with the votes as well. So that all happens on Thursday. And then finally, to finish out the week, on Friday, the highlight is none other than non-farm payrolls. That happens at 10:30 Friday night. Look out for that. So big week. Take note of those. Of course, I'll highlight them to you in the daily call as I do them. But that pretty much wraps up the week. Guys, as always, please feel free to contact us if you do have any questions. Follow me on Twitter at ChatFX for trade setups and breaking news. Most importantly, hope you all have a fantastic trading day. I will speak to you tomorrow for the daily call. Bye for now.